Hey man, Gizzo, you already know what time it is, man. It's your boy Grown Man Business TV. Feel what I'm saying? You can tap in, you can tap out, but you know my slogan. You know what I suggest, and I suggest you tap in. So let's get right into it. Now listen, time and energy is the highest forms of currency, my G. Time and energy are the highest forms of currency. I know they got you out here chasing the bag, chasing the money, chasing that guap, but keep in the front of your mental Rolodex that time and energy is the highest forms of currency. Now, listen, we're going to get right into this situation. You already see the thumbnail. You already see, you understand the title to this thing is what it is, and it'll be what it's going to be. But I want to get right to the point. Joe Budden and Drake. Now, it's a lot of talk going on with Joe Budden and Drake, you know what I'm saying? And Drake is definitely in his feelings about the critique that Joe Budden gave him on this new album. And I said it before and I'll say it again. This album is garbage. This album is garbage. And you know what I'm saying? That's my opinion. Joe Budden got his opinion. The rest of the world gonna have their opinion. When you put your content out there, when you put your music out there, it is put out to the public to be critiqued. It is put out in the public for the people to either love it or hate it. And I gotta say, this album, Drizzy, was garbage. It's definitely, in my opinion, your worst album. Is what it is, and it'll be what it's gonna be. If you ask me again, you know what I'm saying? A lot of the people in the DMs, they asking me my thoughts on the situation. They asking, you know, my perspective on the situation, my grown man business perspective. And I gotta say, man, it seems like you've reached a plateau. You've done all you can do in this situation when it comes to hip hop. Now let's dig deeper into the situation because you got people like DJ Akademiks, you know what I'm saying, giving their thoughts. And you already know how DJ Akademiks feels about Drake. You already know DJ Akademiks got the biggest pom-poms in his hands when it comes to the boy, when it comes to Drizzy. I mean, he's the biggest D-rider when it comes to Drake I've ever seen. I've never seen a grown man just D-ride another man so willingly, so happily. Like he can't when he blushes. DJ, and this is respectfully, but DJ Akademiks, he blushes when he sees Drizzy, man. When you know, just at the thought of Drake calling his show, just at the thought of Drake calling his phone, you would have thought, I mean, look, man, it is what it is. It'll be what it's going to be. So I wanted to put that out there. So everybody has an opinion, but what I really wanted to tap into, because I'm not going to stay long, this is a late night live. You feel what I'm saying? I'm not expecting too many people to come into this live, but I know everybody will double back and listen to this live. So salute to everybody that's in tune with the channel, because I really want to just scratch the surface on the reason that Drake said that he's really upset. Now, Joe Budden said to Drake, you know, in so many words, you feel me? Not verbatim, but in so many words, he said to Drake, yo, you out here smashing these 25-year-old girls. You out here hanging with all of these youngsters, all of these young dudes, and they got your music sounding garbage. They got you out here rapping like these youngsters, and we all know they garbage. You feel what I'm saying? I mean, it is what it is, and it'll be what it's going to be. Hang out with somebody your own age. Date women your own age. You understand what I'm saying? And Drake took that personal. Drake, that first and foremost, Drake took that personal because when the shoe fits, you gotta wear it. You understand what I'm saying? I'm from the South, and the old heads used to say a hit dog will holler. A hit dog will holler. So if you ain't out here, you know what I'm saying, Drizzy, you know, trying to keep your youth, smashing the little young models and the little young artists, you feel what I'm saying? If you ain't out here hanging with the little yachties and all of these the yeets, nah, I'm not too fond of these new rappers. But you know, Yeet. You doing songs with Yeet. You doing songs with Sexy Red. I mean, it's disgusting work, my G's. I gotta say, it's disgusting work, and I agree with Joe Budden's 100%. Now, Drizzy took that personal, but I want to really break down what Joe Budden's meant. And big salute to Joe Budden. You feel me? Somebody get this to him. You feel what I'm saying? Well, Joe, you know, we all looked at Drake as an elite rapper. Yeah, give or take a few of his songs, we understand that, Quentin Miller helped him out with this certain album and was helping him write music. But even still, we all kind of respect Drake as an artist. And when he said that this album was going to be called For All My Dogs, we literally, I think everybody thought that it was going to be some lyrical content, some substance on this album. We didn't heard the Jamaican Drake. We didn't heard the Drake from over there in England, and we didn't heard all these different variations of Drizzy. But we all really like when Drake get in his bag and he just get the rapping. And for some reason, we thought that this was gonna be on this album. And, you know, hanging with the young boys, hanging with the new rappers, the mumble rappers, the Lil Yeats, and then doing songs with Sexy Red. It's almost like you forgot the essence of this thing. You forgot the essence of this thing. And when you hanging out with all these new, young, fresh artists, it's starting to seep into your music. It's starting to leak into the fabric of what we thought you was, Drizzy. Now, if you was just a regular little rapper, if you was just, it is what it is and it'll be what it's gonna be, then nobody would really care. But we held you to a certain standard and we thought you would deliver. Now, that's what I feel like Joe Buttons was trying to give to Drake. And he said it in his own way. You understand what I'm saying? And I ain't gonna lie, we're gonna get into the response from Drake, because I want to talk about that too. I want to get my perspective on that too. But I want to stay right here where I'm at. You hanging out with Lil Yachty, you hanging out with Lil Yeats, you're hanging out with Sexy Red, got you sounding crazy. You don't, you know what I'm saying? You're definitely not the boy anymore. And I'm gonna give y'all a prime example. When you listen to the song with Drake and J. Cole, I mean, J. Cole literally smoked Drake on this track, bruh. First person shooters. Drake got smoked by J. Cole. Because one thing for sure, two things for certain, J. Cole might be around a Lil Yachty, but Lil Yachty don't influence his flow. Lil Yachty don't influence how he delivers these bars, how he delivers this hip hop, how he delivers in that. You know what I'm saying? Lil Yachty is trying to keep up with J. Cole. See, when J. Cole get on the track with Lil Durk is trying to keep up with J. Cole. That's the difference. When Drake get around a Lil Durk, they sound the same. They sound like they in the same range. They sound like they on the same level of hip hop. When Drake get around a Lil Yeet, they sound the same. It sound like they on the same level of hip hop. When Drake get around a Lil Yachty, they sound the same. So all Joe Buttons was trying to say was, bro, stop hanging around all of these young dudes. It's influencing your flow and they garbage. So if they garbage when it come to lyrical hip hop and it's influencing your flow, what's that gonna add up to, man? What's that gonna add up to? Steel sharpens steel, homie. You hanging with putty, you hanging with Play-Doh. Steel is the only thing that sharpens steel, and you hanging with Play-Doh. Is what it is, and it'll be what it's gonna be now. Like I said, I'm not gonna stay long, but I had to give my perspective. Drake's father was saying, he can hang out with who he wants to hang out with, sure, but it's gonna show in his music. And this is obviously showing in his music. When you listen to Drake when he wasn't hanging with all the mumble rappers, when you listen to Drake when he was hanging around with Lil Wayne and Nicki Minaj, and he was hanging around steel that can sharpen steel, that's when we got great albums from Drake. That's what we expected from Drake. You understand what I'm saying now? Again, we're not going to talk about his pen because we know that he has had help with his pen. So he's not an MC, but you can't take, the lyrical ability from Drake. You can't take that away from him, homie. Like, Drake lyrical ability has been elite since day one. That's what made a Lil Wayne acknowledge him. That's what made a Lil Wayne groom him to be who he is today. I've been watching a lot of these content creators, and I know it's late, so it's not gonna be too many people in the live chat. But I wanted to say that all of these different perspectives have not been a grown man business perspective. All of these other dudes is trying to stroke Drake's ego. They're trying to say what I'm saying or say what Joe Budden is saying, but they want to give it to him light. They don't want to rub him the wrong way because he's the boy. But when it come to real hip hop, when it come to lyrics, when it come to this little thing of ours, there's nobody above the program. And Drizzy, you are not above the program, homie. Now, let's get a little deeper into this. Because again, I agree with everything that Joe Budden said. Homie, you are hanging with the youngsters too much. You need to get away from the young people. You need to get around some dudes that really rap. Hang with J. Cole more often. Hang with K. Dot more often. Hang with Jay-Z. I mean, you're on these levels. Hang out with the dudes that's going to help you get better. Now, I want to give the example that a lot of people gave in trying to help Drake out. They said Jay-Z used to hang out with the young people. Jay-Z gave a chance to the young boys. That's how J. Cole got on X, Y, and Z. You right about that. The only difference between Jay-Z and Drake is that he didn't hang around with young artists that can't rap. The only reason why he gave J. Cole a chance is because J. Cole is nice. Any young rapper that you ever saw featured with Jay-Z on his album was nice. They could rap, homie. You didn't see Jay-Z putting if you can't rap, you're not getting on the track with Jay-Z. It don't matter how young you are. It don't matter how fresh you are. You understand what I'm saying? So when people was trying to compare that to Drake, I didn't hear nobody step on that the right way. But here at Grown Man Business TV, I've carved out a lane for the real. And on YouTube, I'm the only one in this lane. So I'm going to give it to him straight. You know, Drake is, you haven't noticed, Drake is hanging out with all the ex-mumble rappers. I'm talking the most trash rappers you can find. Drake is giving them features on the album. And a lot of people are still confused about that. I want to give you the game on that as well. When you reach a certain plateau in this industry, you approach a fork in the road. It happens to everybody. It happens to everybody. When you get to a certain level in this game, you approach a fork in the road. And in this fork in the road, you got two choices. Two choices. You can either get with the youngins and let them influence you, or you can put the crown on your head and you can influence the youngins. That's what's happening with Drizzy right now. It's a fork in the road. And instead of Drake saying, I'm going to make what's cool, I'm going to influence the cool, I'm going to influence the youngins, they follow me now. He is being influenced by the youngins. Woo. This is real game right here. Drake is being influenced. That's why when you listen to his raps now, he sound like the youngins. These little popcorn flows and these little Disneyland raps that he's doing. He sounds like he needs to be in Disneyland. Disney kid, they need him to push the red scarlet. Now, that's a whole nother angle we gonna tap into, Mike. For sure, you 100% right about that. But give me, give me a second. We gonna get into that. It becomes either you go now, Jay-Z, he influenced the youth. Let me give you a chance. Let me give you a breakdown. Jay-Z hit the fork in the road. Either Jay-Z was gonna keep sagging his pants, keep showing his boxers, keep looking real hood and not business savvy, or he was going to take the other road and he was going to put on button-up shirts, put on ties, put on suits, start being a businessman. I'm not a businessman. I'm the businessman. That's what Jay-Z did. Jay-Z said, I'm not going to continue to follow the youngsters sagging their pants, You understand what I'm saying? Looking ignorant, not being able to go into a boardroom and sit at a table and be respected. I'm going to go the other way, and I'm going to influence all the youngsters to wear button-ups. I'm going to influence all the youngsters to get their business correct. That's exactly what, okay, Drake hit the fork in the road. Either you gonna go with the youngsters, you gonna push this agenda. You see the youngsters, they ain't got their head wrapped too tight. You the only ones that can straighten them out, Drizzy. You the only ones that can influence. Everybody thinks that, this whole generation, you're like the Kobe Bryant to Michael Jordan. Our generation, we looked at Hove. We all looked up the Hove. What is Jay-Z drinking? How is Jay-Z? We want the Rockaway denim. This generation, they look up to Drake. What is Drake doing? What kind of music is Drake pushing out? What agenda is Drake pushing? And here we go, Mike. Woo. Here we go. Drake chose to push the agenda of the ghetto hoe. Sexy Red. He chose to rap like he high off lean or something. Mumbling. He didn't choose the other path where it takes more strength. It takes a leader. You got to be a leader, homie. Drake is no leader. Drake is no leader. That's how he got that picture with that blackface on. Drake is no leader. That's how he did that one video where the dude where he had to grab the dude's ass and act like a predator. These are real things. If you can Google Drake, he did a video as a youngster where he was acting and he grabbed the young boy by his ass and let him know, like, this is what I want from you, homie. Drake got a picture with blackface. I'm talking the whole face is black with red lipstick on. So, a lot of people was expecting Drake to drop this album. Drake is at a level where the albums are more about substance now. It's more about leading the youth. Are you going to take a stand? Are you going to be a leader? We already know you got #1 albums. We already know you got the house that looked like Buckingham Palace. We already know you got the jets. We already know you hit the models. We already know all that. We already know you're going to be the first rap billionaire that did it off rap. We already know what the higher-ups and the elites got planned for you. We already know, Drizzy. So when Joe Budden said, stop hitting these young girls, stop hitting these 25-year-old girls, he was correct, Drizzy. When Joe Budden said, stop hanging with these young balls, he was correct. He was correct, man. And a hit dog a holler, man. Now, last but not least, because like I said, I'm not going to stay long. Salute. Listen, this the thing, though. Hardness energy. And I agree with you. You right about that. That did happen. But what Drake don't understand is, and I'm gonna say something, man. Joe Buttons already had the light. We knew who Joe Buttons was, would pump it up before Drake was Drake. And, you like it or not, man. You know what I'm saying? If you feel like Joe Buttons is bigger than Drake or small, whatever that is, but you can't give Joe Buttons no light that he ain't already had, homie. We already know Joe Buttons, who he was. And lyrically, I ain't gonna lie, man. Drake will have a hard time rocking with Joe Buttons. Maybe Joe Buttons didn't go through the door like Drake went through the door. Because Drake went through that door, homie. Drake, you went through that door. I'm thinking about changing the thumbnail to that picture with that black face, and I think that's what I'm going to do. Drake, you went through the door, homie. You went through the door. You bit the apple. You ate the cheese, homie. So lyrically, you ain't rocking with Buttons. You not rocking with Joe Buttons, homie. Yeah. You have a hard time lyrically going at Joe, right? Is what it is, and it'll be what it's gonna be, man. You feel me? Like, You got to understand something. We see what side, well, I see what side you took, Drake. I understand why you hanging out with Sexy Red. I understand why you hanging out with these little Yeets. Yeah. The rapper named Lil Yeet. Halfway retarded. He ain't saying nothing that make no sense. Is what it is. Worse than Soulja Boy. Lil Yeet is worse than a Soulja Boy was. I don't know. They're real. The real history with them. I know, Joe. I know Drake hit one of his girls. I know they was Tahaji or whatever. They was going back and forth. I'm not sure who went at who first, but I will say this: the issue that Drake has with Joe Buttons right now is not stemming off of any past issues. Drake had a problem with Joe Budden saying, "Stop having sex with these 25-year-old girls and stop hanging out with these young boys because it got you sounding crazy." He took that personally. You understand what I'm saying? He took that personal, man. And, when I first heard Joe Budden say that, I understood exactly what he was saying. Drake, like, we thought you, come on, homie. Like, that's how I know you've been getting a lot of help with your pen. You ain't built like that lyrically, man. This is what I'm gonna tell y'all. That dudes like me, Joe Buttons, the real lyrical MCs when it come to this, the 80s babies. What we wanted from Drake was an album full of 8 a.m. in Charlotte, Western riding on the Western Road song. Yeah, the joint he did with Jay-Z. I'm talking about real rapping. We wanted to hear you rap. We tired. Listen, and I'm gonna do a whole another video about this, but I want to kind of home in on this. Drake, man, we tired of hearing you sing, homie. You are not Trey Songz. See, a lot of y'all wasn't around when Drake first got in the game, and he idolized Trey Songz. Drake wanted to be Trey Songz, and I'm gonna do a whole video on Trey Songz was a rapper, elite rapper, and a singer. And Drake did a song with, we are tired of hearing you sing, Drake. You are not Trey Songz, homie. You are not an R&B singer. We are not into that. We was never into that, homie. And I'm speaking for the real ones, man. I'm talking for the grown men. We have never been into your Marvin Room songs. We are not into you singing, homie. When you gonna give an album to the real lyricists? When you gonna give an album to the real hip-hop historians? That's what everybody thought that For All My Dogs meant. So For All My Dogs mean you need to be singing. Why is you singing to your dogs, homie? Why is you saying all these weird lines in your raps? He says something about, I feel like I'm bisexual because you like one of the guys. That is a real bar and a real line in this album that he dropped. He felt like he was homosexual because she's like one of the guys. Come on, Drake. We tired of hearing you sing, homie. We tired of seeing you with your nails painted. We tired of seeing that you a puppet for the higher-ups and the elites like everybody else, man. You are not a lyricist, B. You are not a rapper. Just say that and we'll leave you alone. You are alternative hip hop. You are a pop star. You are not a rapper. So every time you keep trying to play into this rap zone, that's why me, Joe Buttons, and everybody else is looking for you to rap. So you either singing or you rapping like Lil Yachty. You either singing or you rapping like Lil Yeety. You either singing or you on a track with SZA and you're singing. And we tired of it, man. We tired of it, homie. Keep that shit out there in Canada. Keep that shit out there in Canada somewhere in Toronto, homie. We don't want it down here. We don't want to hear it, man. And I'm going to do a whole video, man. Because a lot of you youngsters, DJ Akademiks, y'all don't remember that Drake wanted to be Trey Songz. Y'all too young to remember when Drake wanted to be Trey Songz. Trey Songz is the reason we know who Drake is. Trey Songz is the reason that Drake went the route that he went with this rapping and this singing. That ain't something he just did. He ain't no hybrid. He a knockoff Trey Songz. Virginia, 757, Petersburg, Tappahannock, shout out to Chris Breezy, Richmond, Virginia. We breed legends, homie. And your number one rapper, the dude that y'all think is the GOAT, he wanted to be like somebody from where I'm from. He wanted to be Trey Songz. So we tired of hearing you rap. I mean, we tired of hearing you sing, man. And you got to understand how frustrated, I heard it in Joe Budden's voice, the frustration, man. But I see here at Grown Man Business, I wasn't never surprised about that. Because again, I was around when I saw you trying to be Trey Songz. I remember Quentin Miller writing that whole album for you, giving you a whole vibe. I remember you stealing XXX Tentacion's whole style, his whole flow. I remember it. I'm an 80s baby. I saw it with my own eyes. So I'm not surprised when you get up here and get to singing. Okay? Get to singing. We tired of hearing you sing. It ain't no album for all my dogs and you up there singing like Trey Songz, man. It is what it is and it'll be what it's going to be. Stop hanging out with them 25-year-old boys. Stop having sex with them little young girls, Drizzy. Hang out with J. Cole. Hang out with K. Dot. Yeah. Hang out with Trey Songz. He was sharpening your skills. He had you at your top, at your most elite. You need to give Lil Yachty and Lil Yeet and Sexy Red a rest, man. Yeah, take a break from music, man. We don't need you. We have enough. Drizzy, we got enough albums from you, homie. We rather hear your song. We rather hear My Man. Hey, what's the My Man remix? Just give us that. That's cool enough, man. If you gonna sing and you gonna rap like Lil Yeety and you gonna hang with Lil Yachty, we don't want no more of this. We don't want no more. Respectfully. I had to do it. You can't expect DJ Akademiks to do it. You can't, because all these dudes is yes men. All these dudes is yes men. All these dudes are saying, yes, Drizzy Drake. Yes, Drizzy Drake. That's hot. Yes. Oh, what? You, Scissor? You, Scissor and Sexy Red? Rich Baby Daddies? Oh my God, that is hot. Yeah. Yeah. You got a lot of yes men around you, Drizzy. You come to Grown Man Business TV for the real. I've carved out a lane for the real, and when it come to YouTube, I'm the only one in it. So shout out to Joe Buttons for that, man. Shout out for a real one. You need some real ones in your corner. Your homies heard that album and they let you put it out. You need to fire everybody, Drizzy. Champagne Poppy, you need to fire everybody. If they heard that album and they said, go ahead, get rid of everybody. 40, everybody. Shrugs, whoever you hanging with, man. It is what it is, and it'll be what it's going to be. But I remember when you wanted to be Trey Songz. Hey, Jizzy, I remember when you wanted to be Trey Songz, man. I understand why you singing on every damn song, because you want it to be Trey Songz. And I'm going to do a whole video about Trey Songz. I got to give Trey Songz an appreciation video. I might do that tomorrow. It is what it is, and it'll be what it's going to be. But you bit the cheese, Drizzy. All that rainbow flamboyant shit you got going on, the higher-ups and the elites got you in position. It's a humiliation ritual. You can't give us real rap if you wanted to. You better put them hair clippers in your hair, you better paint your nails, and you better get real feminine. Huh? Ain't you half them people? Your dad's black and your mama come from them people. Your mama come from the low hat people. We all know who I'm talking about. So you connected to the higher-ups and the elites, Drizzy. I understand why you're painting the narrative. I understand why you up there with Sexy Red. I see through the smoke and mirrors. Huh? Is what it is, and it'll